We plant the little seed in the dark, dark ground. What does that seed need to grow? Out comes the great big purple. The idea behind the four-school philosophy is that it is a child-led program, which means that the children get to play and the teachers do a really great job of observing what they're interested in. If a child is really interested in mushrooms, then that's the lesson for the week, for 2 weeks, for as long as they're interested in it. And the teachers help further that interest they might bring in magnifying glasses, they might bring in clay for them to build mushrooms, they might tell stories about mushrooms, but it's the children's interest that leads what's being learned, and myself, I learn that way. I don't want to learn something that I'm not interested in learning, and children are like that too.
Children, when they're learning in Mother Nature, they are learning more skills than just what meets the eye. So yes, they're learning physical skills like climbing or like running on rough terrain and that sort of thing, but what they're actually learning deep within themselves is skills for the future, like self-confidence or teamwork or, you know, caring for the environment, that type of thing. So I think that can translate into their later lives in adulthood.
In a typical school, you might have a kitchen set where the kids know that that's where they play restaurant. Where here, the children have a tree with a hole in it, and that becomes the restaurant. But the teachers don't tell them that, the kids just start playing. So sometimes we have those children who just watch and learn from the other children, and it takes a while. I really believe, as an educator, sometimes we need to let children get bored. And we do. We have long periods of time where children can just sit and connect and watch other children and wait and not be told what to do, and then they see the stick as a stirring stick, or then they see the stick as you know, they can discover with it, and in a very short period of time are just, it's almost second nature, second skin. They are loving the area that they're in. They're hugging the trees, literally. They're lying on the ground and discovering wood bugs, discovering, just being imaginative. And what's really neat is they are using their natural environment to be creative. It's just extremely valuable.
There's a muffle box. Hey, girl, there's some bugs under it. How do we get this? Yes, God, muffle. This is Jack.
My son Manolo has some challenges. He has an autism diagnosis. So I was concerned about putting him in a typical preschool setting. I didn't think that he would do very well. And I came last year when he was still 2 to observe. And I was really impressed with the program, and I was impressed with all the teachers, and I just felt like it would be the best place for him. Even though everybody that I mentioned this to didn't feel like this was going to be a safe environment for him, I just knew in my heart that it was the best place. And once they came and visited the site as well and met the teachers and saw him in the setting, they all agreed that it was definitely by far the best place for him. He's really developed his imaginary play skills, which is one thing that he was really lacking in, and becoming a little bit more self-aware and responsible for himself. You know, he really depended on everybody around him before and didn't really feel the need to develop any of those skills. You know, he just would like sit and let you do everything for him. He's really developed those a lot now. You know, he's had to take on challenges on his own and learn how to negotiate things on his own. So that's been a huge change for him.
What does it feel like on your fingers?
Whoa.
Oh! Uh-oh! That's okay. Lucky the forest is soft.
If a child, for instance, is really interested in math or really interested in literacy, they can find things in the forest that are going to help extend that learning. So we might count pine cones, or that might mean finding sticks that look like letters, or drawing words in the sand, or that sort of thing. So there's a lot of opportunity for learning and, you know, sort of a learning that families are wanting to see. They still are learning in the forest in those ways.
We are so academic driven in our society. We think, you know, if we take them outside, they're going to miss out on reading and writing. They're going to miss out on math, and really it's actually not true. The studies are that being outside and playing, play-based education is where we need to go. And we have a lot of studies, and we're trying to get those research articles out to the public to make it more mainstream. And so on our website we post resources for parents. And on those resources are all those articles and studies showing that how important this is. And for teachers as well, we have a resource page for teachers where they can look for activities and look for any article that they need to convince their parents on why this is so important. People are really scared of risk. Well, teachers need to be educated on risk management. They need to be educated on how to safely take children outside. But that's easy to do. We can do that, and teachers are keen to do that. And I think we need to embrace what teachers know and what parents know deep down is best, and being outside, in my mind, and research is showing that it is best.
Children are way more self-sufficient and capable than a lot of adults give them credit for. And so in that, I often find myself literally standing with my hands behind my back to stop myself from jumping in certain situations with children. So be it if they're climbing a rock that I might feel uncomfortable, I might say, "Do you feel safe?" And they feel totally safe to do that.
I think that the experience in play, in learning with play, is so invaluable. I think that we spend so much time putting our kids in front of TVs and computers and trying to teach them mathematics and to read at such an early age. I think that we're losing those skills of self-confidence and ability that, you know, to take on challenges on their own. And I think that nature really teaches them to be self-reliant.
Water, a tuna fish. A tuna fish. Nom, nom.
This is being done in Europe. It has been being done for 50 years in Europe, and we are convinced every day how great it is. I've worked with children inside for many years, and it's just, there's something different about having a group of children outside. They look after each other. When someone falls, they help each other. It's a sense of community that develops in this outside setting that is really unique. And as a parent, I am so happy to see that learning is happening. You know, I can wear two hats. I can wear the parent hat and the educator hat. You know, is stuff going to get taught? Are the kids going to still learn? And both of my children have gone through this program, and my daughter is now in kindergarten and is at the top of her class and had no formal inside education before that. And my son is here now, and he's so interested in reading and so interested in printing, and yet spends his day every day at school in the forest. So we're constantly learning, but it's being reinforced every day how powerful this situation is for us.